Hi everybody, I'm Jan Neumann from the OER World Map project. Many thanks for joining our lightning talk, Shaping Open Futures in Education Together, which we prepared for OE Global 2020. Today I'm giving you an introduction to the OE Policy Hub, our new project which we just launched in October 2020. I will start by briefly explaining our understanding of the concept of OE policy making. Then I will proceed with our mission and a short historical overview of the project before demonstrating the core functionalities of the platform. I will conclude by showing how the OE Policy Hub can become a part of a wider distributed architecture for data collection, tell you the things we plan to do next, and how you can support the project. As many of you are probably aware of, almost exactly 1 year ago to the day, the UNESCO recommendation on OER was adopted. We therefore think that the timing for a platform which connects policymakers, advocates and researchers so that they can find and share policy examples, knowledge and good practices is quite optimal. Nevertheless, when we started to dig deeper into the topic, we found that policymaking is a rather ill-defined concept and that it's even quite unclear what exactly an open educational policy is. So we looked for existing definitions, added our own thoughts, and this is what we came up with. According to our understanding, open education policies are regulations and strategies which foster the development and implementation of open educational practice, including the creation and use of open educational resources by governments, institutions, and other organizations. They allocate resources and orchestrate activities in order to increase access to, as well as quality, efficiency, and innovation in education. Having a precise understanding of the used concepts is quite important for a data collection project like the OE Policy Hub. This diagram shows two different meanings of the word policy. A policy can be either a policy document, but it can also be a policy initiative, which has a much wider scope and includes policy documents, but also related projects, services, events, and other activities. The OE Policy Hub will be able to collect and display both types of policies mentioned here. The mission of the OE Policy Hub is to foster evidence-based collaborative policymaking in the field of open education by promoting data, good practices and high-quality resources and bringing together experts, advocates and organizations from all over the world. The story of the project goes back to 2012 when Creative Commons started the OER Policy Registry. 2018, Creative Commons and the OER World Map decided to migrate the data to the OER World Map platform. In October 2020, we launched the OE Policy Hub. Compared to the first version provided by Creative Commons, following evolution can be observed. First, the number of metadata fields has been increased so that we can now describe policies more detailed and in a more structured way. Second, policy documents can now be linked to activities like projects, events and services. Third, we widened the collection scope from OER to open education. And fourth, we added additional functionalities to the platform so that the platform can provide more practical help to its users. The heart of the Policy Hub is the OE Policy Registry, the collection of policy documents originally started by Creative Commons. By aggregating these data, we can provide real-time statistics on OE policymaking worldwide. The Hub also provides tools and resources which we hope will be helpful for policymakers who want to design and implement their initiative. Last but not least, the OE Policy Hub includes an expert database which in the future will support policymakers in identifying and connecting regional and local experts on OE policy making. Let's have a look together how these functionalities have been implemented into the site. When you go to oepolicyhub.org, you can find our landing page. By clicking on Registry, you will be directly linked to the OER World Map with a preset filter for policies. I will switch the language to English, since my default language is German, and then you can continue setting filters so that you can find the policies which fit your needs. For example, you can look for policies from the higher education sector and restrict the country to the United States of America. And then you can see that we have currently 32 policies from the US which address the higher educational sector. By clicking on one of the search results, you come to the policy profile and can find additional information there. By clicking on statistics, you will come directly to our statistics section, and scrolling down you can find different types of statistics like OE policies by type, policies and repositories by countries and region, OE policies by level and by scope, policies by educational sector, and also OE policies by policy dimension. The policy dimensions show which topics are addressed by the policies. All statistics are interactive, so if you click on a segment, you will get directly to the underlying data. By clicking on resources, you will get to the tools and resources section, which includes helpful information for OE policy making. We hope to provide case studies in the near future here as well. Finally, I would like to show you our expert database. You have to scroll down the homepage for this, click on Find Regional Experts, and this will lead you directly to the OER World Map again. Here you can see a number of people who have dedicated skills in OER policy making. You can add yourself to this list by adding the tag Policy Advisor to your personal OER World Map profile. The OE Policy Hub is the first example of a fully developed satellite site built on top of OER World Map data. The data can be approached very easily by the OER World Map API, and we hope that many similar sites addressing different topics will be developed in the future soon. It is also quite simple to create different sites for different regions of the world. A first example for this is the OER Germany map, which has been included into OER Info, the German information site on OER, since 2016. Our vision is that more and more countries and states will start to collect data related to OER systematically. By including a country or state map into their regional websites, they can show this data directly to their users. At the same time, the data will be stored in the OER World Map so that it can be shared and reused globally. Initial experiences from our current partners like CCC OER in the US, FNMA in Austria, and Educar Digital in Brazil are quite encouraging. Let's see what we plan to do next. For sure, we will continue updating the OE Policy Registry and add missing policy documents to its collection. We will provide a comprehensive documentation for the site, which includes the use data model, so that everybody interested can help us with this major task. We will also start looking intensively for good practices and case studies, which we believe can provide huge value to everybody interested in OE policy making. From a technical perspective, we are currently working on collections which will support modeling policy initiatives better than it's currently possible. Last but not least, looking into the next year, we plan to extend our partner network and start developing regional sites with new partners. One thing should be very clear. In order to be successful on a sustainable basis, the OE Policy Hub needs ongoing support by the OE community. So here come some ideas how you can help. Populate the expert database by tagging your OER World Map profile with Policy Advisor. Share missing policy documents with us. Share existing case studies, or even consider writing one. OER initiatives for example from the state or the institutional level, can become a partner of the hub. And everybody can let us know what you think of the hub and what you would like to see developed next. That's it. I hope you now have a deeper understanding of the OE Policy Hub. Many thanks for your attention. If you do have any questions or comments, just drop us a note. We are looking forward to hear from you soon. Stay healthy and relaxed and continue to enjoy the conference.